Hello, everyone, and happy Wednesday. I have missed you. It has been at least a month since I've been able to do a lifestyle snack, and there is a very good reason for that. Due to an unfortunate water leak, we had to have the hardwood floors and the entire main floor of our home redone. And that meant we had to move out of our house, furniture and all, for over a month while they did that. So we decided we had to move out. So we went to the beach for a month. We actually went to Costa Rica. And then the plan was to come back and stay with my parents for the remaining 2 weeks because school's starting soon and we need to prep for that. And our house wasn't going to be move-in ready. The process went faster than anticipated. So we've been living out of suitcases for 5 weeks now. We've been able to come back into the house the day after we landed. So we've been back in our house for 6 weeks, but the kitchen was ripped out. We had no kitchen, we had no furniture, and the house was covered in sawdust. And so for the last 6 days, we've been trying to reassemble the house and our lives, cleaning, getting the kitchen cabinets and counters put back together, cleaning, moving some of the furniture, cleaning, and then we were cleaning, and we've also been cleaning. There is sawdust everywhere. We had movers put our furniture down in the basement because I didn't want to put it in a storage unit. I didn't know how to clean it. Anyway, I didn't want to come home with other people's pests. I just didn't. But they didn't put up a plastic barrier in the staircase, so all of our stuff in the basement is covered in sawdust. We've been vacuuming our furniture, wiping down every one of our belongings. I spent 6 hours yesterday washing every pot and pan, mixing bowl, anything that couldn't go in a dishwasher. We've been running the dishwasher nonstop. So while I have been home for the last 6 days, I'm still living out of my suitcase because my clothes are covered in sawdust and they're not my top priority. I have clothes to wear. Today's style snack is I wanted to share with you an Unpack with me video. I've done these in the past. They're really interesting. Instead of packing with me, I unpack because it's easy to show you what I took. But this way, as we unpack, I show you what I took and what I used and what I didn't and what I would have done differently. I'm something of a packing ninja. No matter where we go, I have a strict rule of packing and a carry-on only. And I used to take everything. And I mean everything when I traveled. All of it. Everything I owned practically. And it has been such a revelation. I haven't checked a bag in years. And the longest I've ever packed for in a carry-on was 3 weeks in 2 climates with no washer and dryer. For this trip, I had 5 different parts of the trip: airplane and travel, beach, yoga, adventure, and re-entry. Back at home, but we weren't going to be in our home, so we were still going to be living in our suitcases, but we were going to be prepping for back to school, getting back to work, putting the house back together. And for the entire trip, we would have access to a washer and dryer, which changes everything. So as I go, if you have any questions or comments, just leave them here in the comment section, and I will answer them at the end. My favorite part is when we get to have our conversation. But I would love to know, do you pack in a carry-on or do you take everything with you? And if you do pack in a carry-on, what is the longest trip you have done that for? Okay, so why does the airplane get its own special category? Because I'm freezing. I have Raynaud's and my fingers and I'm cold. I'm always cold. And my very favorite part of this trip was I wasn't cold for a whole month. It was glorious. My fingers are halfway numb right now, and it's August. My toes are I freeze. So airplanes are torture, and I dress for the Arctic apocalypse when I travel. I hate to be colder than I am. So for the airplane, I had a pair of jeans. I am actually wearing those today, cropped jeans. And I wore a white t-shirt, but this was also for other parts of my trip. And I layered a sweater on top of that. And so the sweater and the jeans were specifically only for traveling. The airplane, the shuttles to and from the airport. I mean, from our house, it was only like 20 minutes to the airport. But once we arrived in Costa Rica, it was an hour and a half drive to get there. So that's an entire day of travel. And, we had layovers and whatever. I wanted to be not freezing. So the jeans and the sweater were specifically for the travel days, and they didn't have to go in my suitcase. They were the bulkiest clothes I took, but I was wearing them. And then once I got there, I could take off my sweater, and I had that white t-shirt underneath once we were outside in the nice warm weather. So for the second part of my trip, I took swimsuits and cover-ups. Like, we were there just to relax and do nothing. It's been a crazy busy year. We moved across the country, blah, 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 lots of stuff. And we have been just dying for some downtime and time with our family, our kids. And so mostly I took swimsuits and cover-ups. I also took 4 dresses for going to dinner and just out. So this was my date night dress with my husband. This is a black dress. It's made of an athletic, kind of a technical fabric. It's moisture wicking, super comfortable. It's got this little zippy pocket. Love this dress. This one was it was featured in the summer guide last year, but it was listed as an alternate in the summer guide this year. Another black dress. This is an oldie but a goodie, a favorite. It's a t-shirt dress of mine that I've worn. Super thin and lightweight and comfortable. And then this is another t-shirt dress that I took. So I originally pulled out like 10 t-shirt dresses because I love them. And my husband was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I only took my favorites." And he was like, "That's a lot." So I eliminated the ones that were heavier t-shirt material that wouldn't be as comfortable in the heat and humidity. And no, the house we rented had air conditioning, but like there was air conditioning units in the individual rooms, and we really only turned them on like when it got really, really hot in the afternoon or when we were going to our bedrooms to sleep. So I loved it. It was warm and we were outside a lot, right? So like if we went into town, I wore these anytime if we were leaving the house, I wore one of these dresses. I also took one pair of flip-flops. These are some cheapies that I picked up years ago, and I was pretty sure they were going to get ruined. I've had them forever, and I was right. They did. Like walking on the beach, they got wet. Those darn waves, they come in like clockwork, and my feet got wet, right? So and then we'd walk to the restaurants down the beach and rinse off our feet, whatever. They just got wet. And I knew they would, and I was okay if they got ruined. I didn't take my good ones. I also took, so those were for like coming and going down the beach to restaurants. Like I'd go barefoot, but then, we had to rinse off our feet when we got there, and then you put your wet feet and whatever. I took these for wearing into town if we weren't walking on the beach. So like if we went to a restaurant, other restaurants or whatever, not sand and not oceans. I also took the sandals I have on right now. Let me just take one real quick. These I did wear on the airplane. I wore these occasionally into town, but really I packed these for once we got back. I also took a sun hat. This is my favorite. I've had it for years. In fact, I've had it twice. I had it and then I lost it because I just did. It's a little wonky. It's taking a little abuse. There we go. This is my favorite beach hat, and I baby it to keep its shape. It's had a little bit of a rough go, but I wore this every day when I was outside. And I took 2 rompers and then my cover-ups. And so I have 2 of these. They look almost identical, and they're both black. And I was in my swimsuits or those rompers most of the time. And I really only changed to go to dinner. And even then, it was just like, throw it on. It was just the ultimate in ease. And I was going to show you a couple pictures. So this was actually, I didn't take any outfit pictures while we were gone because I just didn't. So the day we packed up and we were, because our flight wasn't until the afternoon, I was in my romper, but I had put my necklace back on and I had makeup on. I didn't wear makeup almost pretty much the entire trip because we were just at the pool and on the beach. I don't wear makeup to the beach or to the pool. And I really didn't even put any on to go to dinner. So I was packing, but this, I had decided this was what I was going to talk about when I came back. And I was like, I probably have to take a little picture. So here you go. That's my romper. And I have 2 of them. It was that or my swimsuits or my cover-ups. And then I would go shower and put on one of these dresses and we would go to dinner. And then I'd come home and put on my pajamas. And that was it. That was what I wore for the beach portion of our trip. Then for the adventure part of our trip, I would have been content to spend 4 weeks doing absolutely, literally nothing. We've been to Costa Rica before, so we've done it all with the kids, but they were not content to do absolutely nothing for 4 weeks. They were getting bored, so we did go do some adventure type stuff. We went horseback riding, we went zip lining, we went to a nature reserve, we went to some of them went scuba diving. I didn't go. I stayed home with the little girls. And they went fishing. And I stayed home with somebody who didn't want to go. I was content to stay home. Sign me up for the stay at home duty. But the other things I did go. And so I had my Indiana Jones wardrobe for that. And that consisted of 1 pair of adventure type pants. These are actual like outdoor fancy pants, I guess. They're lightweight, they're moisture wicking, they roll up and have these roll tabs so I could make them capris if I wanted to. They had pockets, they're breathable. And then I wore it with my Indiana Jones button up, same material, same stuff. And I had one water shoe that I took. These were great. I took a water sandal and I took a hiking shoe, and those have disappeared in all of the shuffle. I told someone to do something with them, one of the kids. I don't remember what I told them to do with it, and they don't remember where it went. We've been, everything has just gotten constantly shuffled. Like we clean a spot and we move. Anyway, I took one adventure hat. I'm not wearing my big beach hat in the jungle. So this is my adventure hat. Mostly just to protect my skin, my ears, my face, my neck. But this one's really snug and it stays on. I actually have a different one that has a chin strap. It's really ugly, but super functional. And that's the one I would usually wear, but so I took that one as well, but I didn't wear it. My son ended up wearing it. His met an unfortunate end, and he needed one, and it's big enough to fit his man head. So he wore it, and it's manly looking. It's a dude hat. It looks like a man hat. So I wore this one, and it just, it was so good with my outfit. Indy would have been proud. I took 2 bandanas because Indiana Jones would never go anywhere without a bandana. I wouldn't go into the jungle without a bandana either. Didn't take them, didn't wear them. It was way too hot. But, like, what if I got sweaty and I needed to wipe myself off? I just had to tie it around my neck, and then I took 3 pairs of no-show socks to wear in my little hiking shoes. And I took one rain jacket. This is a very lightweight rain jacket. And it's waterproof. I mean, this is an actual rain jacket. It's got a hat, a hood. I took this on our last trip to Costa Rica, and I did end up wearing it. If you don't know this about Costa Rica, this is technically the rainy season starts in June, but they have what they call little summer in July where the weather gets perfect. And it was perfection. The weather was absolutely perfect, and I never needed that. We would sometimes have afternoon rain showers, which were awesome because it was the hottest part of the day, and you just get a little cool off. And, we were tired anyway, go in and take a little siesta, cool off, take a break. And, but we were never out, and that only happened a few of the days. We were never anywhere with weather that I needed that. I'm glad I took it because you just don't know. So I would have worn it if I had needed. I wore it on our last trip there. So that is what I took for my adventure gear. And then I just washed it, in between. After we rode horses, I smelled like horse and I had horsehair on me. So I washed it. And so it was just no big deal. I only needed one. And we weren't going every day. And I had a washer and dryer. So if we were doing a lot of it, because I don't put my clothes in the dryer, I hung them out on the line. Like even here, I don't. It would have needed more time in that humidity to dry. I would have taken 2. Like if we were doing it a lot, I would have taken 2 outfits. The 4th part of our trip was yoga. We specifically planned Um, my husband and I love yoga. I got a really very bad ankle sprain a year and a half ago, that I couldn't do yoga, and then we moved, and it was COVID, and you know, and I haven't found a good place here to go, and it's been crazy, and I haven't put the time into finding it, and I have missed it so much. And so one of our goals on this decompressing trip was to get that started again, get back to that, and get the benefits of that. So we pre-scheduled 3 yoga classes a week while we were there. So I took 3 yoga, I guess, combos. I took 3 pairs of yoga pants, yoga leggings, black, navy, and cyan. And I took 3 sports bras, black, this cobalt cyan, and a white one. And I actually took 3 tops to put over them. And I didn't bring those down. And that's what I took for yoga, and I used them. We had our classes. It was wonderful. I could have taken fewer, but I would have had to wash them more often. And the more you wash them, the more wear and tear you get on them. And so I took 3. So I was wearing each one once a week and washing each one once a week. And they're so small, they don't take up that much space. Then I had a different wardrobe for the transition home. We're back in real life. I'm not wearing swimsuits and rompers all day. I could wear my dresses also, but I knew some of that would be cleaning and moving furniture back into the house, and like rearranging and washing dishes. And I don't always want to wear a dress to do that. Sometimes you want to wear other clothes. So I took, and just, we'd be going out back to school shopping. I took this t-shirt because, like I said, I'm still living out of the suitcase. I took this linen button-up. This was featured in the summer wardrobe guide. It's kind of like a metallic silver shimmer. I love this shirt. Nice and breathable. I had the white t-shirt that I wore on the plane underneath my sweater. And then I was counting this shirt as one of my shirts because it's just a great little black short sleeve button up. It's breathable, it's moisture wicking, and it actually has a really nice tailored fit. I love it. So I took 2 t-shirts and the 2 button ups. And then I took 3 pairs of shorts. These flax colored shorts, which were also featured in the summer wardrobe guide. These dark wash denim shorts, and these black shorts, which were also featured in the summer wardrobe guide. There was a pair like these in the wardrobe guide, but these are not the exact ones. And then I took the brown sandals that I showed you because I knew I'd be on my feet a lot, and these are really cushiony. And those silver sandals, like that's almost like walking barefoot, and I can't. My feet, I have really painful feet. I need padding. And 1 layered necklace and 1 pair of earrings. I did wear the necklace and earrings on the travel days, but not on any of the other days. I didn't bother putting them on to go to dinner or anything. I just wasn't fooling with it. Then for all the parts of the trip, like things that I took for every part of it, I took 2 sets of pajamas, obviously underwear and bras, and 1 cardigan / robe type thing. Believe it or not, sometimes when my family turned on the AC in that house in Costa Rica, I would go get my cardigan. And I took this coated canvas tote. I took it everywhere. I used it as my carry-on on the plane. I used it for wherever we need to go. Like, it's pretty indestructible and heavy duty. So, you know, and then when it got sand and whatever in it, I just dumped it out and wiped it off. Good as it was. So I'll show you, like I said, I didn't take any outfit pictures. But there are a couple of pictures. So this is, this was at dinner the last night. My 8-year-old took a picture of my husband and me at the restaurant. And so that's me wearing the blue dress and my brown sandals. I wore those that day because we weren't on the beach. We had to drive somewhere. And then our yoga teacher took a picture of us doing yoga because my little one joined us and she thought it was super cute. So she took this picture and sent it to us. And that's the palapa in the yard. So we got to do yoga outside next to the beach in the shade, though. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. And then okay, I'm clicking on everything but that. I did take one quick selfie of my Indiana Jones outfit. There you go. My shirt, pants. Oh, there you can see my hiking shoes. And then here you can see my hat. And it was perfectly appropriate for what we were doing. And I wore this a few times. And one of the times I wore it was to go horseback riding, and the guides, you know, they lead you out to this spot. We rode along the beach, right? We went along several beaches in this part of Costa Rica. Like this is a large cove, right? And around each cove, like around that outcropping of trees, is the next cove, and each beach was totally different. Like this one had white sand, another one had black sand, the next one had like seashells. It was crazy. Like you would think they would all have the same sand. Anyway, he led us all out onto the sand of this particular beach, and we each got a self-portrait, and then we got some group pictures. And so, you know, he set us all up and he got my camera and took all of our pictures. And so there you go. Indiana Jones rides again. And that is my outfit in action. It happened, folks. So what would I do differently next time? I always take too many actual clothes when I go to the beach. But I spend my day in swimsuits and cover-ups, and then I only change into real clothes to go to dinner. And then I put on pajamas, and that's it. And I always take too many actual clothes. So I would have left the yoga tops at home. It was so warm. I just wore the sports bras. I don't know why I took them. And then did I show you these water sandals? I took these water sandals. I didn't wear them though. And I should have worn these for walking down the beach to the restaurants, the sailing club, like up and down. Our feet were getting wet, you know, we had to rinse them off, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't have ruined my flip-flops. They just were kind of in the corner. I never thought about them, but I should have worn these and I didn't. So I'm not sorry I took them. I'm just sorry I didn't wear them. And I did take my hair dryer and flat iron in my suitcase, anticipating using it at this juncture, but I should have left it at my parents' house. I could have. I just didn't think about it. We were moving furniture and like we were moving out of our house at the same time we were trying to pack and leave for this trip. There were just so many things going on simultaneously. It's not that big of a deal, but I could have done that. They had a hair dryer at the house. I never used it. I just let my hair air dry every day. And I wore it up the whole time. So what I didn't take, and this is important, I did not take my engagement ring, my sapphire pendant that I wear most of the time, and the bracelet that I always wear. I never, ever take anything, any valuable jewelry when we travel. I have a plain wedding band. And when we got married, I specifically asked for a plain wedding band so that I could always wear it no matter what I was doing. If I was getting dirty and yucky, that I wouldn't be like, oh, I need to take off my ring. I wanted to always be able to wear this and not have to worry about it getting damaged or ruined. And so I do wear my plain wedding band when I travel, and I'll take inexpensive pair of earrings, like on normal trips, inexpensive necklace maybe, but I never take anything valuable that someone would want to take from me. Anything that would make me a target for theft. And that's in any country. And even when I go to New York, I don't wear any of my nice jewelry because I'm in touristy areas doing touristy things. And there people are being targeted. So I just don't. I don't wear any of my nice jewelry when I travel. I don't take anything I truly value. And so would I be upset if it were ruined, lost, stolen, or broken? Then I don't take it. And that goes for clothes, that goes for shoes, bags. I never take my nice bags when I travel. I have a travel purse, a Bagolini. And I did pack that this time. It was in the suitcase, but we didn't really go anywhere. So I didn't even take it out of the suitcase. I forgot that because it wasn't in mine. I think it got put in my daughter's suitcase. Oh, because she wanted to put her seashells in it to protect. So it's in her suitcase. Anyway, I never take my nice bags when I travel either. I just take my Bagolini. It is specifically a travel purse. It's made to be a travel purse. And so I don't take anything anyone would want to take from me. And I don't take anything that I would be upset if it didn't come home with me. So this time I think I could have done even with just 2 dresses. I would have taken just the blue one and the black one that has the sport fabric. That would have been totally fine. We ate the same restaurants over and over again, but I don't care if they think that, But overall, I'm really happy with what I packed. And I hope that was helpful. So let's take a look at the comments. MPOTX says, just like you, I only travel carry-on. Oh, it's life-changing. It's life-changing. I literally used to take everything I owned. Everything. I would take 2 enormous suitcases, like the biggest size you can take, and a full-size carry-on. It's ridiculous. And when we were in Greece, this was years ago. It was before I had kids. That was the last time. The cliffs in Santorini. There are no elevators. And getting those suitcases up and down those stairs to the hotel, that was a nightmare. So yeah. I the first time I did it, I looked like I'd gotten dressed in the dark. I took the most bizarre mix of things. I don't know. But anyway, I got a lot better at it. It's life-changing. You don't have to get in line. You can check in online. You don't have to go to the counter. You should go straight to security. You don't have to worry. And my bags always got lost, always. I've never had to worry about lost or damaged bags. I don't have to worry about my bags not making it on a connection. I don't have to worry about just handling all that stuff. That's just more stuff to babysit and handle on a trip. No, it's if you haven't done it, I challenge you to give it a try. It'll change your life. Judy says, I'm so in need of this info. Never travel light for any amount of time. Help trip coming up soon. Well, I hope this helps. It's you may have noticed that my wardrobe was largely neutral. That helps, but you don't have to do it that way. But everything I took goes together. I could wear any of the shirts with any of the shorts. All the shoes go with everything except the hiking shoes, right? But they were very specific to the activity. Emily says, my problem is never the clothes. I can pack those in a carry-on, no problem. I've never figured out how to pare my toiletries down. Those take up the most space when I'm packing. I don't know how the women do it. I get it. I take a makeup capsule. I mean, I really didn't even wear makeup on this trip, so I could have left it at home, but I would have used it once we got back here. But I just, the same makeup routine for the whole trip. So I take very minimal makeup. If we are, I usually don't take my shampoo and conditioner. I usually just use what the hotel has. This time I did take mine because we were going to be gone for so long. For hair type stuff, I just have smaller containers that I put my hair products in, or my skincare. I pare it down a lot. Maybe I can show you that another time. I didn't pull that all together this time for time's sake, but maybe we can do that on a different one. And I even have a travel size flat iron. It's not great for curling, but for just spot, if you really need to get to it, it's not going to do it. But for just a light, it works. Jean says 30 days and counting, taking care of my dad after emergency surgery on July 4th. I'm so sorry to hear that. And I'm so glad that you're able to go take care of him. I'm sure that is a huge comfort and relief to him in an emergency to have his daughter there. So hopefully you were able to take what you need and that you're able to take care of yourself also as you take care of him. I hope he recovers quickly and that you're able to get back to your own life. I'm sure you have a lot of things you need to, but family always comes first. It does. So that's wonderful that you're able to help him. Judy wants to know, how big is your carry-on? That is a lot of stuff. Well, let me ask if someone can bring it to me really quickly. It's a roller suitcase. It's all about how you pack it. So my hat is stuffed with socks and underwear. That's a space saver, but it's also holds the shape of my hat, right? And it's just all about filling every nook and cranny. It's yeah. So that would be a whole other video. Oh, here he comes. Thank you. So this is my bag. I don't know if I have anything on my desk right now to measure. Everything is all over the place. I have there's stuff all over my office. Stuff that we brought down while they were doing it. So nothing is where it should be, but let's put that one. So this one is 20.5 inches by 15 inches by about 9 inches, not expanded. Does this one have an expanding thing? Yeah, this one has a little expanding thing, but then I think that makes it too big to fit in an overhead compartment. So I've had it for years. This one, it's gone a lot of places with me. So it's a good sized one. It's not the biggest, it's not the smallest. Kim says 9 days until my river cruise on the Seine. Ooh, Paris to Le Havre. That sounds nice, Kim. That sounds fabulous. I gotta do my shoe up. It's every time I move, it flops and falls off. Emily, one of you is answering Emily. I use sample sizes, even if it's not the normal products I use. You can also get small bottles or containers to put your own stuff. Yeah. I mean, when I travel, I'm just not as high maintenance as I am in my own home because it depends on the trip, right? If I'm going to the beach, I'm just, not wearing makeup and a lot of stuff anyway. And then if we're going on a sightseeing type trip, I don't want to spend my whole day in the hotel getting ready. I'm in a hurry. So I just do my minimum. That's a great tip. I can't see your name, but thank you for sharing that. Marion says, I packed everything except my toiletries in a carry-on bag for 6 weeks. All can mix and match. Exactly. And, you can have your personal item too. So this counted as my personal item. And this had, it didn't have any of my stuff though. It still has a few things in here. I haven't unpacked. I don't have anywhere to put my stuff. So, I had a water bottle in here, like a refillable water bottle. This guy right here. Snacks and whatever. But you can also, if you're really struggling, you can put something lightweight. Whatever you put in your personal item, make it lightweight because it's going to be hanging on your shoulder. But if you need to overflow a little bit in there, you can. But I would strongly encourage you to try not to. Julie says, where did you get the tote? I love it. I have had this tote for years and years, and I got it at Marshall's or TJ Maxx, one of those, but the brand is, it doesn't have a brand. It doesn't have a brand listed in here, but I want to say it was BB. Is that how you say that store? BEBE. I want to say that's what it was. Something like that. There's no label on it, but I've had it forever. But I've seen something like that recently at Marshalls or TJ Maxx. Very recently, this summer. Judy says, cute water sandals. Thank you. I've had those for a long time too. And they're great, at the lake and things like that, where they have great traction. But your toes are still open, Judy says, great example of a capsule wardrobe. Well, I'm so glad because really I could easily use just this between the dresses and the 3 tops and 3 shorts, I could dress for a month, mixing and matching and repeating. Like Michelle says, I can't travel without taking my pillow. Oh my gosh, Michelle, I hear you. I always threaten that I'm going to take my weighted blanket. Because I really missed it while we were gone a lot. And also my pillow, but my weighted blanket even more. So I get it, especially if you have a problem neck, pillows are a big, big deal. Barbara says, for me, it depends on how I travel. This summer we went by car, so I had a lot of dresses with me. Traveling by train, I do it with a little suitcase. Even when we travel by car, I just don't want to take that much stuff. I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to have to move it around. I don't want to have to dig through it to get to other stuff. I just don't. I mean, I can if I need to, but I don't want to. Kim says, I always overpack on shoes. I do too, because shoes are just, it really depends on the activity. We traveled for a month last summer. Before we moved, we came here to visit my family. And I took 4 pairs of shoes, slip-on sneakers, 1 pair of sandals. I took a pair of heels for church, and I think I took a 2nd pair of sandals. So the shoes can be super specific to the occasion. Judy says, maybe share your packing tips next time. You mean like how I actually pack, like how I actually put it in the suitcase? I've done several of these Unpack With Me videos, and when we put this one up on the website, we'll link to those. And if you're on my email list, you'll get an email when this goes up on the website. And we'll link to those. Let's see, one of you says, do you use packing cubes? They are life-changing. I have used packing cubes. For the most part, I don't use packing cubes for this reason that you can't fill every nook and cranny of your suitcase when you use a packing cube. It leaves a lot of empty dead space. I did take 1 packing cube this time. I put all of my swimsuits and cover-ups into it. And that was really nice because it's just so many, like, there are straps and just tangly things. And I just cram them in there and they don't get wrinkled. And they were contained. And they were easy to pull out and get to. So I will use them for specific items on specific trips, but I don't use them exclusively for everything. I've tried that before, and I know a lot of people love them, but if you've got to take a lot of stuff and every square inch counts, then packing cubes leave a lot of empty space. When we went on our last Costa Rica trip, I used packing cubes for my kids. They were smaller then, right? This was like 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. I think it was 4 years ago. And I packed each of them in a packing cube. So everybody's clothes, like, we did check bags for that trip because we had to take, well, because they weren't each going to manage their own carry-on. They were too small. And so in the suitcases, I put their stuff in separate packing cubes so I could easily get to, I knew whose clothes these were, and they weren't all a jumbled mess. So they have their uses for me, but I use them in very specific ways. They can be really great, really great. They're also great for putting like your dirty laundry in to come home, to collect all your dirty underwear and things so that they don't get on your other clothes. They're great for that too. So I do like them. I've tried packing like all my stuff in packing cubes and I lost too much space. Lori says, I've used packing cubes at times, but it does not leave me the space for more fragile things because mine fits so tightly in my suitcase. I don't have room to pack things like my hat. That too, because I put my hat down first, stuff it with socks and underwear, put it down, and then I pack around it because I do baby my hat. I love it. It's worth it to me. So also, I brought home some things and I had to pack around. I bought a couple of souvenirs that were kind of delicate, and I had to pack around those, and I used my clothes to kind of cradle them and protect them. And you can't do that in a packing cube either. So they have their uses, and we all use them differently, but they're a great option. And it's just like anything, we all personalize how we use anything. So yes, that was a long answer. Okay, these are all the comments and questions I see. If I missed yours, I apologize. They don't always show up for me live, and then suddenly I turn it off and boom, they pop up. Don't know why, but it wasn't intentional. I'm so glad to be back with you again. It's so nice to be here. But just living out of a suitcase and yeah, I didn't take my camera equipment or anything, nothing. I took my laptop because I had to work, but I didn't know if how the internet would do, if I could stream, if the internet connection would be good enough. So I just didn't do these last month, and I did miss you. I kept thinking of things to tell you and say to you. So I've been saving it all up, and we'll continue the conversation next week. If you're new here, I forgot to say welcome, but I go live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time to share a style snack with you. And we do have the fall wardrobe guide is coming. I can't even, it's so, I can't believe that, but it is later this month. And it is a capsule wardrobe ebook. I shop the internet, I find all the perfect pieces and provide the links to those things. And I use the pieces to make 100 outfits. I put those outfits on a calendar and so much more. But we'll talk more about that in coming weeks. It's only open for a week each season, but you can get on the waiting list now at stunningstyle.com/society. And things like this are so much easier when everything you have goes together. And sometimes I create capsule wardrobe packing and outfit lists for you as a bonus. And that just makes it that much easier. You don't even have to do it. I did it for you. So you can join the waiting list at stunningstyle.com/society. It's only open for a week. You don't want to miss it. Fall is coming, believe it or not. So I look forward to seeing you in the society later this month. And I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time for another style snack. And I hope the rest of your week is fantastic. I'll see you soon.